Om. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वती नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। पठामि संस्कृतं नित्यं वदामि संस्कृतं सदा ध्यायामि संस्कृतं सम्यक् वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम्। हरि ओम। Today we are going to see a very special verse. It is not just any subhashita that generally we start with, but today's session also is based on this verse. Very well known verse actually in the field of Sanskrit. Most of the people know this verse. Let us chant, let us try to see the meaning, and then we will continue. नृत्तावसाने नटराजराजः ननादढक्कां नवपञ्चवारम् उद्धर्तु कामः सनकादिसिद्धान् एतद्विमर्शे शिवसूत्रजालम्। Once again I will chant, once again repeat. नृत्तावसाने नटराजराजः ननादढक्कां नवपञ्चवारम् उद्धर्तु कामः सनकादिसिद्धान् एतद्विमर्शे शिवसूत्रजालम्। Right. So, last few classes we saw simple subhashitas where we could understand what is the meaning, what is happening. Now suddenly somebody will see this and will say, oh, there are too many words, the meanings we don't know. Nanada, dhakkam, navapanchavaram, what is happening suddenly? Okay, so let us go step by step. Let us understand the meaning step by step. One second. Somebody else was unmuted. I have corrected. Keep them unmuted. Right. Right. Let us see the meaning. Okay. Because of some editing, first line is gone. I will read. Nritta avasane. Avasana means at the end. The end basically. So avasane saptami. Nritta means dance. Avasane, at the end of his dance, Nataraja Rajaha. Nata means a performer. An actor or a dancer is called as Nata. Nataraja means great performer. Nataraja Raja, the king of all the great performers, the king of all the artists. He is Lord Shiva. So Nataraja Rajaha is the karta, is the subject of the sentence. Nritta avasane, at the end of his dance, Nataraja Rajaha, the Lord Shiva, who is the king of all artists, what did he do? Dhakkam nanada. Dhakka is his damru. Nanada played. Uvacha, babhuva, like nanada. Long ago he did. Which lakara is this? Nanada, uvacha, babhuva, chakara, lit lakara, parokshe lit. Remember? Distant past. Dhakkam nanada. He played his damru. Damru, you have seen that, which is always in his hand. The musical instrument that makes sound. How? Nava panchavaram. Vara means times. How many times did he play? Nava pancha. 9 plus 5. 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 times he played his damru. Okay. So, Bhagavan Shiva was dancing. Fine. At the end of his dance, he played his damru 14 times. Okay, fine. So, what? Why? Sanakadi siddhan uddhartu kamaha. Uddhartu kama is adjective for Nataraja Rajaha. Kamaha is actually in samasa, uddhartu kamaha. A person who is kama means desirous. A person who is desirous of what? Uddhartu. Desirous of uplifting. Uplifting whom? Sanakadi siddhan. The accomplished people. Siddha is a technical term in the tradition. Siddha is not just any person cannot be called as Siddha. Those who have accomplished, those who have realized that Supreme, they are called as Siddhas. So those Siddhas, Sanaka Adi. So in Puranic stories, etc., often the mention of Sanaka Adi will come. In Puranic history or Itihasa, everywhere. Okay. Who are these Sanaka Adi? They are the 4 sons of Brahmaji. So according to the Puranic theory of creation, Lord Brahma, who is the creator, when he decides that he wants to create beings, first creates these 4 beings. They are Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanatkumara, 4 brothers. Sanaka is the first one. Therefore, together they are called as Sanakadi. Sanaka, etc. Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanatkumara. Okay. Sometimes 4 are mentioned, sometimes 1 is mentioned as Upalakshana for all. So these 4, they say, are liberated from the beginning, and they are always of the age of 5-year-old. So they will be like small, chotu, 4 children walking. Okay, but they are all great masters. You will see them coming in different stories again and again. You will see one time that these 4 wanted to go and meet Bhagavan Vishnu. And when they were going, the 2 attendants, 2 gatekeepers of Bhagavan Vishnu stopped them. Jay and Vijay. And Jay and Vijay stopped them and said that you can't go. They said, who are you to stop us from going anywhere? We are here to meet Bhagavan. So they had ego of the power, those 2 gatekeepers, that we control who will see Bhagavan. So these, they cursed Jaya and Vijaya to be born 3 times as Rakshasas. And this Jaya Vijaya only are born 3 times. So once as Ravana and Kumbhakarna, then Shishupala and Dantavaktra, and then before that Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So three births of these Jaya and Vijaya. And then Bhagavan Mahavishnu, all compassionate Lord, he says, these are my servants only, poor things. If they are born 3 times, I will be born 4 times to make sure that they come back to me. So Bhagavan came as first Hiranyaksha. To kill Hiranyaksha, he came as Varaha avatar. Hiranyakashipu, he came as Narasimha, then Sri Rama and Sri Krishna. Okay. So, what is the point? The point is Sanakadi you will see many times. There is also Upanishadic reference to Sanakadi Rishis. In Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 7, Sanakadi Rishis are the Guru. And they are giving the self-knowledge to their younger brother, Naradji. Narada, Devarshi Narada, what we say, no, is the 5th son of Brahmaji. So, he is their younger brother. 4 sons Brahmaji created. Immediately after that, he created Naradji. Okay. So, you will see Sanakadi Rishis coming there also. Then again in Mahabharata also there is a beautiful portion called Sanat-Sujatiya. Sanat-Sujatiya. There is a portion of Mahabharata on which Bhagavan Sri Shankaracharya has commented. From the entire Mahabharata, Shankaracharya has commented upon 3 things. One is of course the famous Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters. Second is Vishnu Sahasranama, which is also part of Mahabharata where Shankaracharya's commentary is available. And third portion is this Sanat-Sujatiya, which is the Upadesha of Sanat, one of the Sanakadi. Okay, so this Sanakadi Siddhan, he uddhartu kamaha, who Nataraja Rajaha, that Lord Shiva, who was desirous of uplifting or fulfilling desires of the accomplished saints like Sanaka, etc. So they wanted to get some knowledge, to fulfill their wish. To fulfill their wish, this Lord Shiva played Damru in 14 ways, 14 times. And then what? Etad Vimarshe Shiva Sutra Jalam. And thus, what happened? This net, Jala means net. The net of Shiva Sutra, the aphorisms of Lord Shiva, Vimarshe, it emerged. Okay, Vedji. Verse is understood, but the point is not understood. What is happening? Okay. Let me tell you another backstory. Okay. Keep this like this. The moment we use Sanskrit Vyakarana, grammar, the word Vyakarana in Sanskrit is used, who is the first person that comes to your mind? When I say Vyakarana, you see, most of you are saying Panini, isn't it? The moment we say Vyakarana, the word that comes to our mind is Paniniya Vyakarana. In the next class, we will see how there were different systems of Vyakarana. Okay. In total, they say there were 9 systems of Vyakarana, 9 systems. One of them is Panini's grammar. There were other 9 systems, Aindram, Chandram, Shakatayanam, Apishailam, etc., etc. We will see in the next session. But out of that, this Panini's grammar is the most favorite and most famous. Today, if there are people who know Sanskrit, 99% of them follow only Paniniya grammar, Paniniya Vyakarana. So, there is a backstory of this Panini also. Panini was born in Gandhara Desha. Gandhara Desha is present day Afghanistan, which was part of Bharatvarsha of that time. That is the same place from where Gandhari and Shakuni come from in the Mahabharata story. Okay, so in that Gandhara Desha, to the Brahmana family, Shalanka and Dakshi, they were the married couple. They had this son and they named him Panini. Shalanka's another name was Panina, and therefore the son's name became Panini. And the Shalanka, this is around 600 BC I am talking about. 600 BCE, before Common Era. Okay. So they had a son. His father, Panini's father, wanted the son to become a great grammarian. But father died very early when the boy was still young. Father died. But mother remembered the wish of her husband, and she made sure that Panini gets everything to become a grammarian. And when that exact time came, he went to study in Takshashila. Takshashila at that time was a very, very well-known and famous, huge university. You must have heard, no? Nalanda, Takshashila, etc. So, Takshashila University with Vishwavidyapeeth, that is where Panini went. But what happened was that Panini was not a very good student. He could not remember anything. So, all his batchmates and all of them were so, so sharp, because that's the best university. Just like that, you can't go there. So, they were all so sharp and they were studying also. And there was a great teacher, I think Varsha was his name, Varsha. He was the teacher of Panini also, but Panini did not understand anything what they were teaching in grammar. But his father wanted him to become grammarian, so he kept pushing himself for some time. After some time, he said, no, this is not working out. So he jumped over the gate of university and ran away. Okay. Dropouts are always great people, you see. Not always, but most of the times. When they decide that this is not working, this system is not right. And some say that he ran and went to Kailasa, some say that he ran and went to Varanasi, Kashi, etc. And he started doing tapasarya, he started, meditating on Bhagavan, Lord Shiva, and saying that, may I get that enough intelligence, understanding, capacity to understand grammar. And one Pradosha day, Pradosha is Trayodashi, special kind of Trayodashi is there, which falls on Tuesday, etc. Pradosha day, which is important for the worship of Lord Shiva. This Panini got a mesmerizing sight of Lord Shiva doing his Ananda Tandava. Tandava is a kind of dance that Bhagavan Shiva performs. Ananda Tandava, when it is extremely happy, when Bhagavan is happy, he performs this Ananda Tandava. And Panini, from somehow, he got to see that. And at the end of that dance, Lord Shiva played his Damru 14 times. Now you know why I am telling story of Panini, to connect here. Right? Why he played that Damru 14 times? Sanakadi Siddhan Uddhartu Kamaha. To fulfill the wishes of these established people, Sanakadi. So he was playing for Sanakadi, but Panini happened to see this dance and he also heard these 14 sounds that Lord Shiva's Damru made. And by the grace of Lord Shiva, he could see the entire Shabda Shastra, the science of words in Sanskrit, in front of his eyes. The entire Vyakarana concept was revealed to him at that very moment, just through those 14 sounds. Those 14 sounds are called as Maheshvara-Sutra, Shiva Sutra Jalam. Maheshvara-Sutra. Panini's entire grammar, Ashtadhyayi, the text that he has written of around 4,000 sutras, is based on these 14 sutras of Lord Shiva. And they are actually the sounds created by his Damru. Based on those 14 sutras, the entire grammar is available today. Interestingly, from those same 14 sounds, these Sanakadi Rishis who were seeing and who heard that from Lord Shiva, another branch of science also developed, which is called as Tantra Shastra. Have you heard this word Tantra Shastra? Often misunderstood. In the beginning of the classes, when we were seeing different kinds of literature available in Sanskrit, I had mentioned about Tantra Shastra. I had also told that don't think that Tantra Shastra is black magic or anything. Tantra means techniques. The science of techniques, spiritual techniques are mentioned in Tantra Shastra, and even for that Tantra Shastra, the basis is these 14 sounds. What is called as Maheshvara-Sutra or Shiva-Sutra. They call it Shiva-Sutra. In grammar, we call it Maheshvara-Sutra. Okay? Is this clear? What are these Maheshvara-Sutras? We will be seeing today. Don't worry. But this is how, from Lord Shiva, these 14 sounds came. And from that, two entirely different branches of science got developed, emerged. Alright. Okay. Let us chant the verse again. Nrittavasane natarajarajaha nanadadhakkam navapanchavaram uddhartu kamas sanakadi siddhan etad vimarshe shivasutrajalam. Alright. Let us go back to our Vyakarana. So last session we started the topic of Sandhi and we saw the classification of Sandhi. What do you mean by Sandhi? Sandhi means joining. Joining of two letters which are in proximity in the correct order and the corresponding changes that take place in those two letters is called as Sandhi. We saw that Sandhi is writing the letters together and therefore in turn words together, but they are not becoming one word or anything. They are just written together. Right. Then we started seeing classification of Sandhi. How the Sandhi is classified. Number one, based on the place of occurrence, where the Sandhi is happening. Sandhi means two things coming together, joining. Where those two things are coming together, Antas Sandhi, within the word. Bahis Sandhi, outside the word, between the two words. Or Ubhaya Sandhi, there can be some rules which are applicable both inside the word and outside the word also. I hope you remember this. Second kind of classification based on the letters that are involved. Ach Sandhi or Swara Sandhi. If both the letters which are joining are vowels, then it is called as Ach Sandhi. If any one of them is consonant, then it is called as Hal Sandhi or Vyanjana Sandhi. And if Visarga is involved, then it is called as Visarga Sandhi. Okay, where it is happening, between which letters it is happening. Third, based on the possibility of occurrence, Nitya Sandhi and Vikalpa Sandhi. Nitya means what? It will surely happen. Panini's niyama is clear, rule is clear. He says this will happen. In some cases, he will say va. Va means or, optional. It may happen, it may not happen. That is called as Vikalpa. Vikalpa means option, optional. So if it happens, this will be the form. If it does not happen, some other form will be there. It is optional. And the last and important classification of Sandhi we saw based on the change that is happening. When the two letters come together, what exactly is happening? So we said there are 6 possibilities. Agama, an extra letter is added. Adesha, the letter that is added is not just adding itself, but is replacing the old letter. Adesha. We said Mitravat Agamaha, Shatruvat Adeshaha. Remember this? Agama is like a friend. He comes and joins the two letters which are there. But Adesha is like enemy. When it comes, one of the two letters goes away. Ekadesha, one letter that comes in removes both the letters which were there earlier. See, in Sandhi, suppose let us say what Sandhi is happening. Let us say A plus U. Okay. some word is there ending with a, some other word which is starting with u. So a plus u is the sandhi happening. These are the two letters. This is called as purva rupa. This is called as para rupa. What is purva rupa, para rupa? In the sandhi, the former and the latter, simple. Former is called as purva rupa, latter is called as para rupa. So two things are joining, the former and the latter, purva rupa and para rupa. Now, agama means what? An extra letter is getting added somewhere. Agama. An extra letter is added. Adesha means what? The letter that is added is replacing another letter. So another letter comes in place of one of the two. Okay? In place of. Now, Ekadesha means what? Ekadesha means one letter comes in place of both the letters. Like in this case, a plus u, o. O. This o is going to replace both of them. So, what is happening here? Okarasya ekadesha. Ekadesha happened. Ekadesha happened means that O has replaced both Purva Rupa also, Para Rupa also. Is this understood? Two letters are there. Agama means extra letter gets added, so there will be three now. Adesha means one comes in place of another, so there will be two letters at the end. Ekadesha means one letter will come in place of both, so there will be only one letter that will remain. Can you see this? Can you see this? Are you understanding? Just understand the concept. When we start seeing different sandhi rules, you will understand how it works. How agama is happening, how adesha is happening, how ekadesha is happening will be clear. Alright? Alright. Sure. Now, so agama, adesha, ekadesha. Fourth option, dvitva. Dvitva means what? One letter is becoming double. The same letter becomes two times. Dvitva. Lopa, deletion. No new letter is coming. It's not getting replaced also. No doubling also. What is there at the moment also gets dropped. And last one is prakriti bhava. No change happens. Now somebody may say, Veji, if no change is happening, then why is it called as sandhi? Because the moment sandhi has taken place and no change has happened, it will stop the possibility of another sandhi. Difficult concept to grasp. Pay attention a little bit. If you say that there are two letters that are joining together, but no change is happening, then why are you calling it as sandhi? Because sandhi is happening and it is telling that no change should happen. This rule will make sure that another sandhi is not happening. Why? Because for that there is already a sandhi which has happened. So prakriti bhava is also, sandhi is happening and it is telling no change should happen for the two letters. Is this clear? If you think, these are the only 6 possibilities. Since two letters are joining, that's it. 6 only options are there. Either one is getting added, one is getting replaced, both are getting replaced, something is becoming double, something is getting dropped, or nothing is happening. That is it. Okay, this is what is Sandhi. Now, when Sandhi is written, when Sandhi is not written, there is one verse on that, because you will see sometimes they do Sandhi and write it together as big words, and sometimes they write it separately. So when Sandhi must be done, there is a verse. For everything there is a verse. Simple to remember. What is the verse saying? Samhitaikapade nitya, nitya dhatu upasargayoho, nitya samase, vakye tu sa vivaksham apekshate. Samhitaikapade nitya, nitya dhatu upasargayoho, nitya samase vakye tu sa vivaksham apekshate. What is it? What is being said? Samhita. Samhita means sandhi, joining. Earlier also this word came, samhita. Now samhita ekapade. Within one word, samhita is nitya, is compulsory. So within the word, whatever sandhi comes, you must do that sandhi. Inside the word. Inside the word, sandhi must be done. Nitya dhatu upasargayoho. Earlier we have seen the concept of upasarga and dhatu, you remember? 22 types of upasargas are there. Prapara, apasamanva, vandira, remember? When those upasargas are getting added to dhatu, between that upasarga and dhatu, if there is a possibility of sandhi, nitya, it must be done. Samase, inside a samasa, we will see, not samosa. Samosa is different. Samasa is different. Samasa means where two or more words combine together to become one word. We will be studying, big topic of samasa will come later. In samasa also, inside samasa, when the two words are becoming one word, that joining, sandhi is must. And therefore in poetry also. In poetry also sandhi is must. But vakye tu sa vivaksham apekshate. When you are writing a paragraph, when you are writing a sentence, it is optional. You may do sandhi, you may not do sandhi. Vedji, not clear. Today when the class started only, I knew that there is something wrong with you. And you are taking it very, very tough. Nothing is tough. Simple topic. Where sandhi should be done, where sandhi should not be done. Okay, that is what we are discussing. What do you mean? Suppose I want to say, what is written here? Aham asmi. Simple sentence, I am. Philosophically very difficult sentence, but grammatically very simple sentence. I am. I am. Now, see how I am writing? Do you see how I am writing? Aham asmi. I am writing it as two separate words. Half ma is there because next one is swara. Therefore, I have written it like this. Now, suppose I write what have I done? What have I done? Nothing. This half ma and a, I have just joined it together and written together aham asmi. In a way, I have done sandhi. In a way, I have done sandhi. Here I have not done sandhi. Here I have done sandhi. Now, what is the rule saying? The rule is saying samhita ekapade nitya. Ekapade. Within a word, sandhi is must. Is this within a word? No. This is between two different words. Aham is independent word. Asmi is independent word. Dhatu upasargayoho nitya. Is it upasarga joining to dhatu? No. Aham is not a upasarga which is joining to asmi. No. Aham is an independent word. Samase. Is it samasa? It is not a samasa also. Okay. So I can write aham asmi when vakye, when I am writing a thesis, when I am writing a sentence, when I am giving example, when I am writing a paragraph, I can write this aham asmi. But in poetry, I have to write aham asmi. Not aham asmi. I have to do sandhi when it is poetry. Poetry means anything which is in meter, I have to do sandhi. It is a must. You see in this, in this example, in this verse itself, samhita ekapade, ta plus a, that is actually a plus a. Sandhi is happening and I, ekadesha is there. In place of a and a both, I has happened. And therefore, you see here samhitaikapade. Can you see that? Samhitaikapade. Within samasa, and therefore, not within samasa, between the two words. But because this is poetry, sandhi is must. You must join them together. You can't keep them separate. In the metrical structure, in a verse, sandhi is must. Dhatu upasargayoho, again there is a sandhi if you see. Dhatu upasargayoho, but because of samasa, dhatu upasargayoho. Can you see this? Can you see here? Similarly, vivaksham apekshate. You are not writing it separate. You are writing it together like aham asmi. So, aham asmi can be written like this, but when you are using it inside a verse, it should be written as aham asmi. Not aham asmi, but aham asmi. Is this clear? Is this clear? Very famous verse from Advaita Makaranda is there. Advaita Makaranda is a very beautiful text of Vedanta. Ahamasmi sada bhami kadachinnahamapriyaha ahamasmi. I am sada bhami. I am always shining. Kadachit na ahamapriyaha, and never I am not dear to myself. Therefore, my nature is of Sat Chit Ananda. Asmi, therefore Sat. Bhami, therefore Chit. And kadachinna hamapriya, therefore Ananda. That is not the topic. Topic is what? When you are writing it in poetry, sandhi, joining is must. Within a word, within a samasa, between dhatu and upasarga, sandhi is must. But when you are writing in vakya, in separate sentences, when you are writing examples, because you want to teach, therefore you have freedom to separate sandhi and write. Is this clear? Therefore, many times when we are trying to understand a verse is given, we are trying to understand the meaning, they will do the first step is padacheda, separating out the words. Means what? Doing the sandhi vicheda. Sandhi means joining has happened. Now they will separate out that joining and write all the words independently. Then they will rearrange it in anvaya. Then they will do padartha, meaning of each word. And then they will do the meaning of the entire verse. Padacheda. First they will separate it out in a sentence form and write it separately. Okay. Is this clear? So far what we have seen, is this clear? Right. Now when we say that sometimes sandhi is must, it should be joined together, and sometimes it can be separated. How to do that? That is what we are going to learn in Sandhi Prakarana. But before we go to Sandhi Prakarana, today we are going to see Maheshvara-Sutra, Maheshvara-Sutrani, the 14 sutras of Lord Shiva that came from his Damaru, which are coming up on your screen. That's it. 14 sutras. What are these 14 sutras? Let us see. I will say, repeat after me. I will say, repeat after me. Ayun, Rilak, Eong, Ayouch, Hayavarat, Lan, Nyamangananam, Jhabanya, Ghadadash, Jabagadash, Kha, Pha, Cha, Tha, Tha, Cha, Ta, Ta, Va, Kapaye, Shashasar, Hal. I will say again, listen carefully. Ayun, Riluk, Eong, Ayouch, Hayavarat, Lan, Nyamangananam, Jhabanya, Ghadadash, Jabagadadash, Khapa Chatatha Chatatav, Kapaya, Shashasar, Hal. These are the 14 sutras of Lord Shiva called as Maheshvara-Sutra. Now this you should memorize. This you say again and again, it will get memorized. And then whenever you go to somebody's house, etc., and then they say that you are coming, and then you can use them as you please. Sometimes to scare somebody else, they will feel that something, you are doing some black magic, etc. You can use according to the according to your visit, or sometimes very peacefully. Ayun, Reluk, Eong, Ayouch, Hayavarat, Lan, Yamangananam, Japan, Gadadash, Jabagadadash, Kapa Chatata Chatata, Kapai Shasar Hal. According to your mood and that time's place, you can use this. Very powerful sutras. These are the sutras which give the entire grammar. Entire Panini Ashtadhyayi is based on these 14 sutras. That's it. Interestingly, if you carefully notice, what are these 14 sutras? These sutras are actually all the alphabets of Sanskrit rearranged. That's it. Carefully see. A, I, U, R, L, A, O, I, O. 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. These are swaras. Over. A, I, U, R, L, A, O, I, O. Swaras are over. Can you see that? Then starts the Vyanjanas. Ha, ya, va, ra, la, yamanganana, jabhagadadha, jabagadada, kapa, chatata, chatata, kapa, shashasaha. All Vyanjanas are there, rearranged. That's the main magic of it, na? It is arranged in such a way that according to the properties that they exhibit, they are rearranged. But basically, these are the alphabets of Sanskrit. You will also notice that I have written certain things in white and certain letters in every sutra in yellow. Next slide, I will explain what these are. Okay. Akshara is written in white. Akshara means alphabet. And it is wrapper. Wrapper. That wrapper is written in yellow. So aksharas are in white, and then each one ends with wrapper. Why he did like this? You will understand in the next slide. But remember, these are the 14 sounds that were made by Lord Shiva's Damaru. You can imagine, no? Ayun, Rilak, Eong, Gayo, Chaivarat, Lanya, Maganam, Chabanya, Gadadash, Jabagadash, Kapa Chatata, Chatata, Kapai, Shashar, Hal. He must have played in that rhythm, in that way, that these sounds emerged. From these sounds, Panini understood the entire connection of grammar, and Sanakadi Siddhas understood the entire Tantra Shastra. If you see Tantra Shastra, the logic is explained here. I'll just give you one sample to understand what it is. In Tantra Shastra, they say, A is Brahma, that pure consciousness. E is Maya. When Brahma and Maya come together, U is Ishvara. E, U. Can you see this? So the entire Tantra Shastra, I am not going to explain everything because I am not expert in that science, but this is how the entire Tantra Shastra also proceeds to explain the entire creation. Okay? So Maheshvara-Sutrani. Shall we do once again? I will say, repeat after me and then we will do together. Ayun, Riluk, Eong, Ayauch, Hayavarat, Lan, Yamangananam, Jhabany, Ghadadash, Jabagadadash, Khapa Chatata Chatatav, Kapay, Shashasar, Hal. Look together. Ayun, Riluk, Eong, Ayauch, Hayavarat, Lan, Yamangananam, Jhabany, Ghadadash, Jabagadadash, Khapa Chatata Chatatav, Kapay, Shashasar, Hal. Little faster. Ayun, Riluk, Eong, Ayauch, Hayavarat, Lan, Yamangananam, Jhabany, Ghadadash, Jabagadadash, Khapa Chatata Chatatav, Kapay, Shashasar, Hal. Little faster. Ayun, Riluk, Eong, Ayauch, Hayavarat, Lan, Yamangananam, Jhabany, Ghadadash, Jabagadadash, Khapa Chatata Chatatav, Kapay, Shashasar, Hal. Please keep repeating. Make sure that you memorize this. Why? Entire connection, entire logic is in these 14 sutras. The real fun of the science is in understanding how these sutras are giving the entire logic. Okay, that's the fun of Vyakarana. Anyways, so as I said, these are called Maheshvara-Sutrani. Maheshvara-Sutrani, the 14 sounds that came from Bhagavan Lord Shiva's Damru when he played it after that Tandava. Seeing or hearing these sounds, the entire structure of grammar became clear to Panini, and he wrote the most famous text called Paniniya Ashtadhyayi, 8 chapters of Vyakarana, which comprises of 4,000 sutras, 3,996 sutras. Sometimes, they vary also according, because some people, they cut it in different places, whatever. Around 4,000 sutras, all of them are written in terms of Maheshvara Sutra. What do you mean in terms of Maheshvara Sutra? Let us understand how they are written. The concept is called as Pratyahara. Pratyahara. So now 14 sutras I have written in one line. Okay. Ayun, Riluk, Eong, Ayauch, Hayavarat, Lan, Yamangananam, Jhabany, Ghadadash, Jabagadadash, Khapa Chatata Chatatav, Kapay, Shashasar, Hal, in one line. Now, how do you understand Pratyahara? So Pratyahara means Akshara, which is written in white, plus following it. It is that which is written in yellow. So na, ka, nga, cha, ta, na, ma, ya, sha, sha, va, ya, ra, la. This is called as it. It means wrapper, covering. And whatever is written in white is Akshara alphabet. Okay. So how do you form Pratyaharas? Pratyaharas are formed based on Akshara plus following it. Following it means what? Suppose you want to form Pratyahara starting with A. Let us see example. An is one Pratyahara. When I write An, what do I mean? I mean starting from A up to Na, whatever swaras or whatever letters are there, That is called as pratyahara. Anapratyahara means a, e, u, from a up to na. Can you see? A to na. Second example, ak pratyahara. A to ka. Not this ka. Because this ka is akshara. This ka is it. Starting from akshara and ending with it. So starting from a up to ka, what all aksharas are there? A, e, u, r, l. So ak means a, e, u, r, l. Are you understanding the concept of pratyahara? You can make many pratyaharas. What is the logic to make pratyahara? You start with the letter and you end with following it. Now you understand why it is written following it. Why? Because suppose I want to make a pratyahara starting from A. Is it the next one? Very good. Eng. Eng is the pratyahara. So starting from A up to N. Basically A and O. But I cannot say ek. Why? Because ka it is above it. It should be following, because then only it will include the aksharas. If it is before, it will not include the aksharas. Are you understanding? Any akshara plus following any it can make a pratyahara. Give another example. H. A up to this cha. So A, O, I, O. A, O, I, O. So H means, H pratyahara means A, O, I, O. Eng pratyahara means A and O. Ak pratyahara means A, I, U, R, L. An pratyahara means A, I, U. Is this clear up to here? Up to here, is this clear? Now please note. Please be careful and note what? In the Maheshvara Sutra, there is only one akshara which is repeated. One akshara which is repeated, and that is ha. Ha is here also, ha is here also. Can you see this? Ha, ha. Akshara, only one akshara is repeated. Same way, only one it is repeated, and that is na. Here also one na is there, here also one na is there. So when I say an, question may come, are you talking about this na or are you talking about this na? Why? Because if an I mean this na, then it will include a, I, U, R, L, A, O, I, O, Hayavara, L. It will include all of them. But if I am talking about this na, then it will only include a, I, U. Other than these two confusions, there are no confusions in how to form pratyaharas. Now, as we start studying Panini's Ashtadhyayi, Panini himself will make it clear that only in one place an means this to this. In all other place an means this only. That will become clear. We don't have to worry about it. The point is, when I am making pratyahara, what do you mean by pratyahara? Akshara plus following it. Why are you making pratyaharas? Because by making pratyaharas, I am summarizing the law. Rather, summarizing the letters for which I want to make a rule. Let me give you an example and you will understand. First sutra that we will be studying in Sandhi, probably in the next class, is Akassavarne Dirghaha. This is the rule of Panini. One of those 4,000 rules. Na? Panini has written 4,000 rules. Sutras are there, Panini Sutra. In that one sutra is Akasavarne Dirgha. When you see, what is this Akasavarne Dirgha? Dirgha we know. Dirgha we know, Rasva Dirgha, okay. Savarna, have heard the word before, but I don't know. Sometimes they use this Savarna, etc. in caste system, etc. Oh, not that Savarna. We are not talking about that. But important point here is Akaha. Akaha is actually Ak in Shashti Vibhakti. For Ak or after Ak, Panchami Vibhakti also can be used. After Ak, Savarne, if the same Varna comes, then the result will be Dirgha. What do you mean? What is Ak? Ak means A, E, U, R and L. This is Ak. If in front of Ak, Savarna comes. Savarna means same Varna. Means what? In front of A. In front of E, E. In front of U, U. In front of R, R. And in front of L, L. If in front of A, E, U, R, L, A, E, U, R, L comes, then what will happen? Dirgha will happen. A plus A will equal to A. E plus E will equal to E. U plus U will equal to U. R plus R will equal to R. Nothing will happen because there is no Dirgha for L. It's not there, it does not exist. But A plus A will become A. E plus E will become E. U plus U will become U. R plus R will become Dirgha R. R. Now you see, what is the rule I want to make? I am saying, if in front of A, E, U, R, the same swara A, E, U, R comes, then the result will be Dirgha A, E, U, R. Now this entire big sentence, Panini summarizes in 3 words, Akas Savarne Dirgha. How he is able to do this? Because the rule for Ak, all the 5 letters here combined into a pratyahara. You see? Akaha Savarne Achipare Dirghasyat. Ekadeshasya. Dirgha Ekadeshasya. Over topic close. In front of Ak, if Savarna comes, result is Dirgha. What do you mean by Ak? Ak. Starting from A up to Ka, whatever swaras are there. All the Sandhi rules that we will be studying from Panini Ashtadhyayi. Because I want you all to have a taste of real Vyakarana also. We have been studying Vibhaktis, we have not seen the Panini's rules at all for each Vibhakti. Lakaras also we have not seen. But now you will see the rules because it will make life very easy in Sandhi. Why? One rule you remember, Akas Savarne Dirgha. Everything will become clear. For that, pratyaharas are necessary, and that is how all his sutras, make help of these pratyaharas. Iko Yanachi. Second sutra which we will be studying after Akas Savarne Dirgha is Iko Yanachi. He is using 3 pratyaharas. Ik pratyahara, ik. Yan pratyahara, yan. And ach pratyahara. 3 pratyaharas he is using to explain what happens when. Ikasthane yan syat achi samhitayam vichaye. When ik is followed by any other ach. Now he has explained about Savarna. If A comes after A, what will happen, he told. But what if after E, instead of E, A comes? What if after E, U comes? What if after E, R comes? What will happen? Second sutra explains, in place of ik, yan will come. When that sutra comes, I will explain what is that yan, etc. I am trying to tell you how using the pratyahara, Panini has made the entire grammar extremely concise. So this Maheshvara Sutra is like a key to decipher the entire Paniniya Ashtadhyayi. It's like encrypted data. Paniniya Ashtadhyayi is an encrypted data. And for any kind of encryption, you need the key. Correct? That key will tell you how to decrypt that data. This key is called as Pratyahara from Maheshvara Sutra. Okay. So, let us see some of the Pratyaharas. An Pratyahara we saw, Ak Pratyahara, Ing, H Pratyahara we saw. Like that. Next Pratyahara, Ach. Starting from A up to Cha. So, A, I, U, R, L, A, O, I, O. Ach means all the swaras. Now you know why we were calling Ajanta that which ends with Ach as that which ends with Swara, because Ach means Swara. According to Maheshvara Sutra, Ach means Swara. Please note here, according to Paniniya, according to Maheshvara Sutra, when A is there, A is understood. E is there, E is understood. U is there, U is understood. R is there, R is understood. Why? Because they exhibit same properties. Suppose he wants to say no. Only the rule applies only for A, not for A. He will say At. He will use At. At means only A, not A. It, only E, not E. But this will be for those specific occasions when he wants to use only one particular swara. But in all other places, when A is mentioned, A is understood. E is mentioned, E dirgha E is understood. Therefore, count how many swaras are there. In Sanskrit, we said earlier when we were seeing, there are 13 swaras. Remember, 13 swaras, 33 Vyanjanas, consonants, and 4 ayogavaha, symbols. Symbols we are not mentioning here. We are only talking about 13 and 33. Out of 13, you see how many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And add 4 dirghas. A, I, U, R. All swaras are included in Ach. So, Ach means swaras. That's why in Sandhi classification, Swara Sandhi is called as Ach Sandhi. Just open one page back. Go back one page. Ach Sandhi. Why Ach? Because Ach means swaras. And Vyanjana Sandhi will be called as Hal Sandhi. We will see how. Now you see, same. I am giving examples of Pratyaharas. Now we are going down. Yan. Please note one more thing. Please carefully note one more thing. Important point. When I am writing aksharas in Maheshvara Sutras, I am not writing them as individual consonants, but I am adding a. Example, ha is what? Ya is what? Ya plus a. Why am I doing that? To make the distinction between akshara and it very clear. All the it we keep it as halanta, half. All the aksharas we write complete, but they mean half only. We are just writing it as complete. It will give easiness for pronunciation also. Otherwise, I will have to say ha, ya, va, ra, ha, ha. I can't say ha, ha, ya, va, ra. I can't say ha, ya, va, ra. Why? Because when I say ha, ya, va, ra, I am adding a basic swara into it. That is for ease of pronunciation and ease of writing. But what we mean is half. And therefore, while writing pratyahara, you see, when I say yan pratyahara, what all aksharas does it include? Ya, va, ra, la. I can't take it. It is not an akshara. So, yan means ya, va, ra, la. In other way, yan means antastha. Antasthaha. What is this? Semi-vowels. Consonants. Semi-vowels. Yan. Next pratyahara, nyam. Nyamangananam. 7th sutra. Nyamangananam. This is the tricky one because the order Yamangananam, all are nasal sounds. Can you see that? Yamangananam. Starting from nya up to ma. What are they? They are actually C5. Remember what is this C1, C2, C3, C4, C5? Yeah, those 24 vargaksharas, group consonants. Kakagaganga, chachajajaya, tatadadana, tatadadana, papababama. Then column wise we did kachatatapa, kachatatapa, gajadadaba, gajadadaba. Remember the last one, the last column C5 is the nasals, which is mentioned by one sutra, Yamangananam. So suppose I want to say that this rule applies for nasals. I will just say yam. When I say yam, it includes all the 5 nasals. Jhash, 2 sutra, jhabhinya, gadhatash. Put together becomes C4, 4th column. Next, Jabagadadash. Now that Jabagadadash Sutra itself has become famous. Our Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth's event is also called as Jabagadadash. There was one big program happened some 6 years back in Chennai also, which was called Jabagadadash. They are using Maheshvara Sutra for that. Jabagadadash means what? C3. Jabagadada is actually the middle column of that group consonants. Kha, pha, chatata, chatatav, kapai. Khay is actually C2 and then C1. You see here, kha, pha, chatata is C2. Chatata, kapa is C1. So you see C5, C4, C3, C2, C1. All 25 consonants of group vargaksharas have come. Can you see that? Next one, shal, shashasaha, otherwise called as ushmanaha, ushmanaha. Remember, sibilants. Ushmanaha, those which generate hot, heat in the body when we are pronouncing sh, sa, ha. Okay. And finally, hal pratyahara. Now here please note, this hal is not last hal. It is this ha up to this la, which actually takes all the vyanjanas, all the consonants. Ha up to la. So a up to cha, ach is swaras. Ha up to last la is all vyanjanas. Therefore, in the Vyanjana Sandhi, we have written Hal Sandhi. While studying Vibhakti Rupas, we had Ajanta and Halanta. The Pratipadikas which end with Swara, Rama, Krishna, Hari, Guru, all of them end with Swara. Therefore, they were called Ajanta. Akaranta Pullinga, Ikaranta Pullinga, Ukaranta Strilinga, Rikaranta, etc. And then we saw Halanta. Remember Atman, Brahman, Surud, Bhavat, all of them end with consonants. hal. Hal anta. They end with hal. Hal means on. Now the question sometimes can be, why ha is at two places? Why? Because some properties of ha are according to antastha. Sometimes it has some properties which are like semi-vowels, therefore it is put there also. But at the first place, why? Because you can't omit it. You can use yan for all the antasthas. Whenever there is a property which is there for her also, you include it and say hunt. Many of the properties of her are like Ushmana, therefore it is been kept at the last. Again, why? Because suppose there are some properties which exclude her, they will just say Shar. Why? Shar means Ushmanas without her. Can you see? For a strategic purpose, that her is kept at two places because of the properties that it showcases. Okay, but this is basically the entire Maheshvara Sutras. Because the entire Paniniya grammar is based on these Maheshvara Sutras, it is also called as Maheshwaram. Maheshwaram is another name for Paniniya. Why? Because the entire grammar, all 4000 sutras are based on this. Okay? Right from first sutra, Vriddhi Radhi, that is the first sutra of Paniniya Shastra-study. Vriddhi At Aich. 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 I-O. At. You remember At? I told you Ta is added when you want to say only that letter. At means only a. It means only e. Like that, at means only a. So a, I, O, at, ich, a, I, O. These three letters are called as vriddhi. I am just explaining the meaning of the first sutra of Panini. Vriddhi radhi. Vriddhi at, ich. At means a, ich means I and O. These three letters together are called as vriddhi. A, I, O. Okay. Adeng gunaha. At, eng, gunaha. At means a. Eng, A-O. A-O. These three letters are called as guna in Vyakarana. A-I-O. These three letters are called as vriddhi. As we start studying Sandhi, we will get all these things clear. Don't worry. Just trying to show you how entire Paniniya Shastra uses these Maheshvara. He uses all these pratyaharas, all these different kinds of combinations of akshara and following, and then explains how they are connected, what are the properties, what are the. So from next session, we will start with Sandhi. We will see some little bit background of Paniniya Shastra also, and then we will see the Sandhi. We are going to see the Sandhi along with the sutras. Okay, so that you will at least get little bit of taste, and then you can tell that yes, we have studied. Okay, all right, chalo. Let us conclude. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.